sun come out through my door. The waves are so pretty.
Scoot over, I'm getting it.
Intelexx here. Welcome to Lifin with Lex, where we talk about a variety of topics surrounding life, because life be lifin', right? Yes, definitely working out to keep the stress level down, because life be lifin' and people will try you. Okay, but don't worry, because there is one thing that we gotta do. And listen, check the message here. Okay, start each day with a grateful heart. Yeah.
Everybody get in the picture, get in the video. Hey, we out here.
Definitely got to be around the family, but you know, self-care is a must. So you need that isolation because, baby, but most importantly, enjoying life, because you only get one, right? And you know, a part of life is building relationships. Definitely got to have that. And definitely got to stay on point with the learning, because knowledge is power. Okay. And not only that, applying it. Yes, that's right. Putting that knowledge to work and doing the work for the greater good. You heard me? Make sure to tune in and tap in to this episode to see what we gonna talk about today. Oh my goodness. Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome welcome back to another segment of Lifin with Lex. Listen, I figured, we can take a walk in nature and have a little chat, okay? Because we're going to get a little personal today. All right, so we're in season 3. Shout out to y'all for rocking out with me. I appreciate y'all so much for being with me on my vulnerability journey. For those who know me personally, know how I am when it comes to my business, you know what I'm saying? And I like to keep it private. Like, I would be going to the store, going to a friend's house, growing up and with my family. I'd be like, I'll be back. Like, where are you going? Out? Like, even with my family, I was very private. So, this is a big step for me. So shout out to y'all for being here, hearing my journey, and listening, okay? Because you could be doing anything else, but you here with me, okay? So we're going to get into it today. So this is our 5th episode, and we're going to talk about ups and downs coming back after a setback. All right, so listen, okay, life be lifing. Part of the reason why I wanted to create this podcast, because life be doing exactly what it be doing, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I say all that to say that because it's life, we all go through ups and downs, right? We all go through things that we expect to happen, and we all go through things that we don't expect to happen. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what I've been through, the setback and the setup, okay? And the bounce back, okay? So, some years back, I was doing good, flourishing, had multiple income, multiple jobs, and I was doing pretty good. And COVID hit, you know what I mean? And that kind of messed a lot of people up, you know what I mean? So I know some of you can understand where I'm coming from. Now, working in the field that I work in comes with a lot of mandatory things, right? So my one job that I was working at, I was there for 4 years, right? I didn't have any plans on leaving just yet. Ultimately, I do want to be a full-time entrepreneur. So the goal is always to get what I need from here and move on. You know what I'm saying? So, I had reached out to my supervisor. When COVID first started, everything was still, like shut down. It was more virtual, which was okay. And, I reached out and I was like, okay, well, once the vaccines came out, are we going to need to get the vaccine? Oh, I don't think it's going to get to that point. In my mind, I'm like, you know what? It's probably going to get to that point. So I need to prepare myself. Mind you, my body is super, 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 super sensitive, okay? I almost passed away when I was a baby, and it was bad to the point where even the doctors at hospitals didn't know what was wrong with me, and they ended up just sending me home. You know what I'm saying? And was just like, you know what? Put her in some ice, put her in an ice bath, and hope for the best. You know what I mean? So I'm here. So obviously, what my mom and my grandmother did, did something. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was like a hit or miss kind of thing, but it ended up working. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to be here. But because of going through that as a child, my immune system was compromised. My immune system was, it went from being one way to being super sensitive, to where certain things that might not affect other people affect me a certain way. I could take aspirin and like it makes me go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Or I could take a medicine that's supposed to help me and it does the opposite. So for me, I'm very leery when it comes to putting anything in my body, especially vaccines, right? So ultimately, the time came to where, you know, they made it mandatory that we needed to get these vaccines, right? And for me, I'm like, well, what's in it? Because I could have allergic reaction. I could, I mean? Like, I could do all kind of things, and I could end up in the hospital just by taking it because y'all want me to take it to keep a job. And I said I'm not going to compromise my health for that reason. You know what I mean? And the fact that it was experimental to begin with, to the point where even now they're saying that people shouldn't have taken it, and all these things, and I do believe that there are certain things that you can take to make yourself better, medicines and all type of things, right? So I'm not against that practice at all. But if I don't know the ingredients in something, I don't care whether it's medicine, food, vaccinations, whatever it is, I am not going to take it. So I let my supervisor know multiple times because she kept asking, right? Are you going to take it? Are you going to take it? And I kept saying no. I could have been real extra. I could have been sneaky or schemy and used somebody else's information and said, oh, yeah, I did it just to keep my job. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want that to fall on me. I didn't want them to, if I were to do something like that, I didn't want them to look into it and be like, you know what, this is not you. And then end up letting me go because of that, because of the dishonesty. So I was more so thinking about the integrity behind it. And I said, you know what? I'm very good at my job and I like being here, but I am not going to risk my health because y'all made this thing mandatory. So I put in an exemption, which got denied. And because of that, and because I wouldn't get the vaccine because my body is super sensitive, I was let go, right? And that really, I was prepared for it, but at the same time, I wasn't prepared because a lot of things kind of tumbled after that, because, it's great to talk about, oh, yes, I want to be a full time entrepreneur, but you don't really understand what goes into it until you actually do it, until you're actually in the thick of it, doing the work, doing all the things. And yeah, I wasn't prepared at the time because at that time I had just legalized my business. So I was very, very new to business mindedness and to like learning the ins and outs of what it actually takes to run a business. So I was a newbie and I had a little bit saved up, you know what I mean? And it helped for a little minute. But, certain things were just, I couldn't afford it at the time anymore. So I had to let a lot of things go. I had to sacrifice. Listen, sacrifice be real, okay? Especially with something that you want. Like you go from having the luxury of getting what you want when you want, not looking at price tags, because that's how I grew up. I didn't look at things like if I wanted something, I just got it, or before I was old enough, I would just ask for it and I would get it. You know what I mean? So I grew up in kind of like a spoiled mentality to where it's like, I can get what I want. I don't got to, I'm not looking at no prices. Like what? To having to get on a budget so that I can maintain what I already have. And so at the time I had a vehicle and I was paying almost $800 a month for it, like including insurance, which was absolutely ridiculous. But I could afford it, right? But it got to the point where it's like, now wait a minute, this is about the same cost as my rent. This is getting to be too much. And ultimately, I just gave the car back because it was just an added expense that at that time didn't make sense. And even now, even though I can afford it now, I don't want to do that. I don't even want a car note. No, I don't. Like, I don't. Just because of the nuance, like, I would rather have something that's paid off, or something where I am paying very minimal payments. Like, I'm not talking like 200 a month. But a lot of people end up paying like $700, $800 for a car note. Like that is crazy to me. And that's not even, I'm really frugal, y'all. So like even if I had 10,000 a month, 50,000 a month, and y'all want me to pay $800 a month, you know what $800 can cover? Like that's how I think. But anyway, so I ended up getting another vehicle, paid in full. I only paid for the insurance. You know what I mean? So, but ultimately, there was about a year that I really had to grind. I really had to hustle. I really had to get down and dirty to make things happen. But it was a struggle at that time because I'm like, all right, now I got to do things that I don't want to do work wise just to make enough so that I can cover my bills, so that I can cover my necessities. You know what I mean? And having like all these extra amenities, I'm like, I had to cut it back for a little minute until I got to a point where I was able to do it with ease. You know what I mean? Because everything that I had going on at the time wasn't a necessity. There were certain things where I'm like, you know what? I'm treating myself, so I want that. I want that subscription. I want that. A gym membership, subscription, Netflix, a subscription. You get the idea. You get the idea, though. You get it. Yeah. But like a lot of things that I was doing wasn't a necessity. So I had to cut back for a little minute until I was able to kind of get caught up, and even when I was still grinding and working, there were certain things where I had to pick and choose. Like, listen, I don't got it like that right now. So this bill gonna get paid. This bill gonna get pushed back. Put a little bit on this. Put a little bit on that. But the point is, I didn't give up on myself. Okay, and that goes into my favorite segment of this show, which is our mic drop. Yes, our mic drop, and that is, don't give up on yourself. Don't let one moment in your life determine your life. Like, it's a moment, it's a season, it's a time that you have to go through to learn from. Okay, and it's okay. It's okay to not be okay sometimes. It's okay to do things that you don't want to get to where you want to be. It's okay to focus on what's necessary for the moment so that you can get to a point where you're like, okay, I could do this. I'm all right with this. I got this. No worries. But we all go through those things. So don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself down. Encourage yourself. Because it's nothing like seeing you at the bottom, working your way to the top, and really being a testament to yourself and to others that you could do it, right? I did it, and in my family, I'm like, oh, that's the rich auntie right there. Everybody comes to me, asks me for money, asks me for different things because of the standard that I set for myself. Whether I have it or not, they don't know. They probably don't care. He's like, look, bring it my way. But either way, that's how they see me, whether it's true or not, you know. But I like that because I do want to set that example, and giving up is not that example. You know what I'm saying? So I kept going, kept pushing myself, kept putting myself out there, kept hustling. Eventually, I got another position, and now I am pretty much back to where I was before. But it took some time for me to really struggle to where I'm like, oh, I don't like this. Like, going from never struggling before to actually feeling the struggle. Even if I was struggling before, I never felt it. That time, I felt it, and it was like, this is what people go through. So it helped me to really understand what people actually go through in this life. And it gave me an understanding to where I can feel for you because I've been through it. Sometimes you don't understand somebody because you ain't never been through what they've been through. I've been through it, so I know, and I understand. I can speak to that. You know what I'm saying? So yes, we all go through ups and downs. Down for a minute, then get back up, and go down and get back up. But the point is, don't lose yourself in the process. Don't um, don't lose yourself. Focus on you. Do what you have to do. Love on you, and never give up. You know, your testimony is stronger than you think. So share your story too. I want to hear it. All right, but that's my little tea time for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you next time. Love you all. Thank you again for supporting me. And I'll talk to you later.
And that's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode.
Okay, so keep it real. What did you think? And be honest, y'all, because I really want to know what y'all think. Honest feedback definitely matters, okay?
Share your thoughts about it on the Q&A. that's attached to the episode on Anchor or Spotify or Apple, or the amazing platforms. If you're on YouTube, make sure to drop a comment. If you want to share a little bit more, but you don't want to do it on those platforms, make sure to email us so that we can share your thoughts on the show. I want you to remember to love yourself.
Trying to level balance out, I meditate all the time. Learn my lesson, turn my blessings into one of a kind. I'm gonna stand up face to face, ain't anything in my way. Mama told me never let my feelings get in the way. I'm waking up like, how the hell can I get better today? I gave myself that confirmation, boy, you already great.
Be true to yourself. And when life starts lifing, life back. But don't forget to life with Lex. Until next time.